Welcome to the Daisy Blue Fashion Variety Show. I am Nancy Blizzard, your host, and my guests today are Brittany Werges and Hannah Werling from 303 Magazine. Welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you so much for being here.
Yeah.
I want to hear all about 303 Magazine.
Yeah. So we've been around for the last 13 years. We started off as a print publication in Denver. We had a strong focus in culture and fashion. We did a lot of fashion editorials. In the last 5 years, we've kind of transitioned to being more of a lifestyle and culture publication focusing on food, restaurants and music, as well as fashion. And we are digital only now. And throughout those years, we've also hosted Denver Fashion Week. It was formerly Denver Fashion Weekend for about 10 years. And this spring will be our very first Denver Fashion Week. So we're expanding it from 3 days to a whole week of fashion with 6 runway shows and industry events. And we're working with Denver Arts and Venues. They're going to help us promote the event. And we're really excited about that because our goal is to kind of expand it from beyond being just a 303 Magazine event and into being more of a citywide event that supports fashion designers from all over the city.
And Hannah, what is your role in 303 Magazine?
So I do production. I produce Denver Fashion Week. I kind of make sure that it's going to run smoothly. Models are happy, designers are happy. Yeah. I kind of, as far as Denver Fashion Week goes, I'm kind of running around and making sure the show goes as seamlessly as possible.
Mm-hmm. Tell me a little bit how 303 started out. It was print originally, correct?
Yes. So our publisher, and they started the publication with a couple other people in Denver. And it kind of just grew from there. It was just like a bunch of creatives that came together. Kind of when Denver wasn't as known as a cultural hub, and they really wanted to have a source of expression. And we had published about 100 issues, print issues. Denver Fashion Weekend. It started kind of in the same way, which Charlie Price, who is also the runway producer with Hannah, he started it with our publisher, and yeah, it started off as as a hair show.
Yeah.
So it was just one night. So the hair team, which did a lot of great work for the print publications, they decided they wanted to do their own hair shows, and Charlie, who's a big name in the hair industry, not just here, but internationally as well, wanted to kind of give it a platform for local hairstylists to express themselves. And it was a big hit. And so it kind of expanded from there and grew into fashion and other nights as well.
Which is really interesting that it started out as a hair show for all, these local salons and hairstylists to come together, and makeup artists.
Yep.
And then now we've actually had national designers who have showed at New York Fashion Week have their clothes at our events, and we're showing their clothes. So it's just kind of beautiful, the evolution from like a hair show that was amazing. Yeah. And then here we go 10 years later, and we have, John Paul Adeker and Millie and like these amazing designers who are sending their clothes to us because they want it to be seen in Denver as well.
We've been producing events for so long with the Fashion Week, and we did the 303 Pool Series also for about 10 years, and those were really popular. So bringing those back in some shape or form, and just continuing to have events in Denver, since it's something that we've done for so long. And with the Ritz Carlton downtown, and they've been an excellent partner with us for pool parties. So we've been doing more poolside parties. And yes, we did do like a fashion summer show before. And this summer we did one at the Wings Over the Rockies. So we're definitely looking to continue doing like summer fashion events or summer pool parties.
And what kind of people do you attract that read your magazine?
So yeah, we started off with when we were like fashion publication, it was definitely more of the fashion crowd. As we've grown and as Denver's grown, we kind of transitioned to being more focusing on like newer residents to Denver. So there's definitely a lot of transplants that read our publication because we focus on more than just fashion. We do events, like I said, food, music, Art is a big part of what we do as well. So if there's something cool happening in Denver, our goal is to write about it, to let people know about it in one way or another. So definitely people that read the publication is anyone that really wants to explore the city. Definitely 20-year-olds to 35-year-olds and above are our main demographic. But if you're a 60-year-old that loves art in Denver, we have really great content on that as well. The attendees to Denver Fashion Week have become more and more impressive. We do a street style, so we always do take photos of the crowd every year, and get their spin on the fashion. And every single year, it's just looks so much better. So.
Well, and I think they're noticing that you guys that 303 Magazine's taking their picture, and so I think people are overdoing themselves a little bit. Not over. I mean, it's still them.
It's really
but it's
fun, though.
but they're oh no, this I could get my I can succeed.
Yes.
I'm gonna get it on 303 Magazine, and so they come, and it's they just look amazing. I do a lot of running back and forth from the DJ booth to the back of the house, and it's I'm always oh my gosh, you look so great.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, you look amazing.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, where did you get those crazy shoes? That's the fun thing too. Is
and that's changed a lot.
There's a show out in the audience
it really
of
is,
amazing fashion people. Yeah, it's pretty. I think Denver is just getting cooler and cooler and cooler.
Yeah, it changed. It changed so much because I think when we first did it, when I first came on board about 5 years ago, it was definitely people that, especially in the winter, huddled up in their jackets and, in their jeans and just kind of dressing just to the weather, which, is totally fine still too. But there weren't people that were coming out with a self-expression at the events. And now it's like she said, it's very much a show even in the crowd where you're I love this full feather dress, or this completely maroon velvet outfit, and just incredible stuff where I'm oh my gosh, this looks great. So that's been really fun. I really do like that, just seeing people kind of treat it more like an occasion, whereas I think for a while it was more there were the people there that knew it and had come to see it, but other people who maybe stumbled in and were still uncomfortable being in a fashion event in Denver. And I think that's something that's completely changed. People are walking into the space and feeling very confident about being at a fashion show and wanting to be there. And that's been really rewarding. So
that's amazing that you are comfortable enough in your own skin that you want to be seen. Yeah. And that's, I think, the biggest thing, especially just in the, the times that we live in, being able to express yourself and, among your peers, just other audience members, I think it's really great. And again, if you just go on the website and look at street style, it is so much fun to see everybody at the event. And half the time I'm where did you find that in Denver? Denver is getting so cool with this.
True.
Oh my gosh, everyone is just, it's really great. And our audience keeps growing every season. It's, we have nights that sell out, and we always are adding more, more and more. So it's really great.
Tell me about some of the local designers here in Denver.
Great designers from Denver. They grow every season. We get new ones every season. It's very impressive, the traction we're getting and how our designers who are showing at our event, our Denver Fashion Week, how they're growing and they're starting to expand with online sales and everything. So it's really, really exciting. We're really proud of the local designer scene here in Denver. So one that we've had show, she showed, I think at least the last 6 plus the summer show is Rachel Marie Hurst. She's an amazing Denver local designer. She has such kind pretty clothing for women. Yep. Very young, very fresh. She also, though, kind of when she first started out, everything was just very pretty and fresh. And now she's starting to play with shapes. She's starting to play with, structure and different palettes. We were very proud of her last season. She actually made a black dress for the hair show Obsidian, the segment Obsidian. We were just so proud of what she came up with for Obsidian because, again, it was she's always just done very girly, very fun, playful. And then just to see that she has this other side. She kind of has this like deeper, darker side. It was just beautiful.
Yep.
And her, she does so much hand stitching. Just the detail is amazing.
Yep.
And then we have like Katomi Yoshida, and she is an amazing artist and designer. Her clothing, the structure of it is art. Sometimes, and she does a lot of men's, but she does carry over into women's. And a lot of her clothes are androgynous.
Yes, yeah.
So they go both ways. It's amazing, but very structured. One season she might be very inspired by like Japanese culture, and then the next season it might be very military. She's inspired. She is an artist, and she's inspired by art every day, and it shows in her clothing. She just has a really amazing taste, also like. And balance with her clothing. She's amazing. Yeah. We also have, we have Dwayne Topping, who he's newer to us. Last season was his second season with us, and his stuff. Just you see him and you're like, what? He can make, and he makes these beautiful feminine, form-fitting he can make something fit on a woman's body amazingly. And he likes to play with different textiles and different fabrics. And it's just so beautiful to see kind of someone that maybe is unexpected just put out something that is so stunning and so just it make you gasp. And then he comes running out after the show, and he's got his feminist shirt with his leather vest, and it's amazing. You're just like, who is this person? But it's really exciting to see him evolve as well, because he did also. He was in Obsidian last season, and he did some pretty very. He was inspired by the Vikings, and it was very kind of hard, and which is also again not quite who he has showed us to be. He's always had very soft, feminine colors and palettes. So C. Matthews is she is just an amazing iron and metal worker who does these necklaces and pieces that are they do defy gravity. Yeah. They absolutely do. She has them, and she has them set just perfectly on a model's shoulders so they don't move. And it's like, they defy gravity. They're very, they're kind of like a protection for the model almost. They're kind of spiky.
They're like several feet. So that's really like avant-garde, and definitely it's almost like it belongs in a museum. It's just it's an art piece. And Tyne Hall, she has some really great feminine pieces as well. Like something you would totally want to wear to a cocktail party. Be like the hottest girl in the room. Yeah, New Year's Eve for sure. Great clothes. Gino Velarde does these incredible gowns that you would just die to wear at any black tie event, because they're just these gorgeous sequin vests or sequin dresses that are just really, really cool. So
there's Royal Outerwear, which is the street style. Yes, and he's a great screen printer. He's got a really fun flow about him. He's kind of his street style, and then he evolved from previous seasons. He's mostly just done hoodies and t-shirts in different ways, in his very own way. This past season, he did pants. Oh, yeah. He did a dress. And
really cool, great patterns and textiles, and that was really neat.
Again, he has good taste with fabric and balance.
That was really cool.
It was really cool, and just really proud of the fact that he's evolving. And that's, I know I've said it 5,000 times, but I'm just really proud of our local designers. And it's every season, we never see the same thing from them.
Just anything you could possibly imagine. It's incredible. Pieces that defy gravity, they're beyond what you could probably even imagine. And every year I'm always completely amazed. We're really proud of them, and their evolution is a huge part of it. So the more we support the fashion industry, the better show we'll have. Because, we see these people growing, and we know that they need support in order to grow. So we want to put on the best show, and in order to do that, we have to support these people in their endeavors, because, a fashion industry can't survive in a vacuum.
A lot of times those hairstylists that are showing at the hair show night, they've been working so hard the rest of the week getting models ready.
Yeah.
Working with the designers, making sure like, is this the hair you want? And also the makeup artist, is this the makeup you want? Is this kind of cohesive? And it's so amazing too to me that they get to be out there.
Yeah.
They get to show like, well, this is what I can do when you just let me do whatever I want.
Yeah.
So it's really cool. It's like their hard work from the whole week prepping models. It's like then they get to just prep their models, have their vision, and then
it's almost great to have it end the week because after all of the exhaustion, you just get to watch them get on stage and just like have this incredibly creative moment, and it's always like makes you feel like, okay, I really want to do this again and again and again.
Absolutely.
And, so like sometimes in the middle of it, you're kind of like, I'm a little tired, but by the end of it, it always feels so good and so exciting. And I always feel very humbled to be a part of it when I see them present because they just put on something that I'm like, I could never do that at all. So we definitely encourage people to come to Sunday.
That's wonderful. It's got to be challenging at times, correct?
It can be, yeah. But it is really fun. And then when you see the whole production come together, it's pretty amazing.
What do you see as upcoming trends in Denver?
I think street style has definitely been a lot more evolved over the last couple of years. We do style profiles on the publication, so we highlight different locals with really incredible style. Tomorrow we actually have this amazing 16-year-old, and he does this like insane avant-garde looks. You've probably seen him at Denver Fashion Week, but he does like these great hair pieces. And so we interviewed him, did a photo shoot, and that'll publish actually tomorrow morning. And so he does very much avant-garde, Japanese Harajuku style clothes, something that you do not see in Denver. And so that's really neat to kind of see how local people are expanding their fashion. So, the style profiles have ranged from burlesque dancers to motorcycle shop owners to drag queens, and then also just like local people who are in the fashion industry who have great style, and as well as musicians, because there's a lot of musicians with really incredible fashion as well. So I think just local fashion in terms of street style has really grown a lot.
I think velvet's going to actually stick around to early spring. I don't necessarily think it's going to carry all the way into summer, but I do think velvet's going to kind of melt into spring a little bit. And then of course, like the floral prints, pleats are getting big again. The street style with like kind of the big patches and like the old, 80s denim jacket with, not necessarily so rock and roll, but more like pop now than maybe it was before. Funny, you see people walking around and they've got a ball cap on, but it's cute. Street style for sure in Denver. And it's easy here too.
Yeah. The 90s trend still is very much here. But people taking
sunflowers are coming back.
Yeah, people taking that in Denver has definitely kind of grown. So
for sure.
It's really cool to kind of see Denver mold that to their own own way. So people like Topo Designs doing some really great stuff. All the great stores down on Broadway with the thrift stores, a lot of people draw from there. I know Station on in 5 Points, they do just 90s vintage, so you can do vintage shopping there, and I know that's really popular.
Well, and I think what's cool too is that I think Denver has always been kind of a laid-back city, and so people can can kind of have their own spin on whatever's in style, and they look cool. They don't have to be exactly right out of Vogue magazine or right out of they don't
just like this,
right? They don't have to. They can make it their own, and it's you can pair it with heels or you can pair it with sneakers. And I mean that's the cool thing about Denver is that it's just kind of it's you individually. I mean, we're getting more and more people coming to us, which is really great. But we still, our main focus is the local designers and the boutiques. It's just kind of nice to also have a different perspective come in that's outside of Denver.
Yeah, because we definitely want to expose people in Denver, not just, the attendees, but also designers as well, being able to bring New York fashion or international fashion to them is really cool, and we definitely want to bring in fashion from abroad because it is important for us to expose Denver to that as well.
Tell me a little more about the Fashion Week.
We are going to start with on Sunday, that's the 18th, with the children's fashion show like you mentioned.
And then in the evening, we have the bridal.
Yeah.
We have a lot of local bridal designers and then a lot of local bridal boutiques.
Yep.
And then we've got Monday, we've got a model, because models are such a huge part of our production and they are so important to us. We have a model boot camp, which is we have Donna Baldwin, modeling agency who's teaching, and they're just amazing. They're the biggest in Denver, and
legendary, absolutely.
And to have them teaching, models, and it's not even just models that are cast. And any models can go and register.
Aspiring, runway experience, whatever.
Yeah, so we're really excited about that, and then we've got a day for the fashion designers. It's a workshop, and then social media workshop.
Marketing, just try to help. I think our goal with those industry workshops is really to help grow the fashion industry in Denver, because although we've been doing this event for 10 years, there's still so much room for improvement and growth. And I think education was a huge component of what we wanted to do. So that's going to be a big part of it. And so, the workshops where designers come on board who have done shows before, talking about how you get a collection ready. We actually have the U.S. Patent Office coming in to talk about how to trademark your fashion line, how to protect your brand in general. So they'll have experts coming in. We'll have designers from New York City talking about how they kind of broke out of the scene. So the goal, absolutely, with Denver Fashion Week and the expansion from weekend to week is adding the education component so that the city can continue to grow in terms of fashion.
We're bringing back kind of our alternative, non-traditional segments of the show. So those are going to be local designers that have showcased with us before, like Tomi Yoshida, Dwayne Topping, Rachel Marie Hurst, and they are going to be using non-traditional models for their segments, which is really exciting. We wanted to kind of bring that back. During casting, we do have a lot of non-traditional models that show up, and a lot of times, we don't get to cast them unless we do this alternative show. So we're really excited to be bringing it back so that we are more inclusive to everybody in Denver, whether, you're 5 feet tall or 6 feet tall, no matter what, you can be a part of it. On Thursday night, we have a New York Fashion Week big designer. His name is Stevie Boy. He has designed for Lady Gaga and Madonna.
Beyonce. Mainly a sunglass designer.
Sunglasses and accessories. Friday is the paper fashion show. They're kind of coming under the umbrella of Denver Fashion Week, which we're really excited to have them be a part of our big event. And then Saturday we have boutiques, our local stores, some national designers, and then Sunday night is our big hair show, which is kind of our grand finale, where local salons and just really talented hair artists, makeup artists, they get to come out and they get to just, their creativity just gets to go wild. It is always a very exciting, fun show, and it's our grand finale.
What do you have plans you have for the future beyond Denver Fashion Week, or have you not really thought beyond that?
So, in terms of, we're going to continue to expand it. We have already working on plans for fall. 303 Magazine is going to be expanding into more types of events. And so we're working on hopefully something for the coming year, 2018 and 19, from our music desk. So that's something we're looking forward to.
So where can people find out more about Denver Fashion Week in March?
So we just actually launched a new website called denverfashionweek.com. And that has everything you need to know from how to participate as a model, how to participate as a volunteer, a sponsor, and then there's everything from all the events and the tickets to press passes and all that stuff. So everything is on denverfashionweek.com, and you can go there now.
That sounds awesome. Thank you so much.
Yeah,
Thank
thank
you.
you.
This could
Appreciate
be
it.
a wonderful show.
Yeah, great.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for having us. Yeah.
Oh, you're so welcome. Thank you for watching the Daisy Blue Fashion Variety Show here at Denver Open Media with Brittany and Hannah from 303 Magazine. Thank you so much for being here. Have a wonderful day.